Hi everyone, Greg here. Now, today I've got a really simple, easy recipe for you, as usual. I mean, I don't like to make things harder. I like to simplify the simple and make it even more simple. And today is no exception. I'm going to simplify a Philly cheesesteak, except it's going to be a hot dog. And it's going to be hardly any involvement at all in my partaking. I'm going to let everything else do all the work while I sit back and relax. Really easy to do. Let's start cooking. Hardly any ingredients too. I mean, all I'm using is some cheese, onion, some sausages. Why does my voice always go funny as soon as I mention the word sausage? Well, these ones are man-sized ones anyway, or you can use those little chipolatas. Ooh. Garlic. I got a green pepper, man, or a capsicum, as we call it here down under. And some bread rolls. So as you can see, hardly any ingredients really. But first we need to do something, and that is preheat the oven. 220 degrees in my non-fan forced oven. That's Celsius. Or around the 430 Fahrenheit mark. Anyway, let's start preparing these dogs. So I've got myself a roasting tray here, or some tray that you can fit in an oven. So we're going to be using that, and into there I'm going to throw some garlics. Doesn't matter how hard you treat this stuff. Don't be afraid to be mean to the garlic. I mean, it's not as though it can't take it. And there's no need to peel the skin off either. Just chuck it in the tray. I mean, I'm not going to leave this papery stuff on the outside. I'm not a feral, but you could if you wanted to. In the tray, I probably only need, like, depending how many dogs you're using, probably only as many, one per dog, or even half. But I might as well use the whole clove up. I mean, it's just going to sit in my fruit bowl and rot now, isn't it, if I don't? So, might as well use it all up. I could make a nice roasted garlic sandwich out of the excess. Ooh, it sounds good. Also, we need an onion. I'll just top and toe it. And whatever that's called. I don't know. Scalding? No, scalding's like yelling at it, isn't it? How about we use the term cutting? Right, so we cut it down the side. And then we'll just like do that, and that, and that. Pretend it's an apple. Just don't eat it like an apple, trust me. I tried that once and whoo-wee, it was pretty good if you're into self-masochism. Right, that goes in here as well. Now I've got this green bell pepper. Don't know why they call it a bell pepper. I mean, it's not as though it's a pepper. I mean, it doesn't fit inside one of these. Believe me, I've tried. So we'll just cut these up. Take the seeds out. I mean, you know, if you eat those seeds, you'll have bell peppers growing inside your stomach. You do realise that, don't you? And I will cut these into smaller sections, because they do have to fit on a hot dog. You could even dice them up if you're like really like hardcore into like doing extra work for no reason. But I'm not doing that. Anyway, you know where these going? Into the tray. So that tray's looking nice, isn't it? It looks like a salad. But it won't look too much more like a salad once I chuck some meat in there. So we'll chuck those in. You can cut them up if you like. It might make it easier. And I know these will stick to the bottom of the pan while I'm cooking, so I'll spray the bottom of the pan. I probably should have done that first, shouldn't I? And if you really want to, you can just spray over the veggies as well. That'll give them a nice roasting coating. But we'll put the sausages all together. Spread these out so they're not touching each other. It's like kids in the back of the car. You know, don't touch me, he's touching my shoulder. Billy said I'm a porcupine. Sally looked at me. You know the pain. So we've got to keep them separately because it keeps them happier. Anyway, now that's all done, it's time to whack these in the oven. So we'll just whack this in. Now we just leave those in there until the sausages are cooked. Should take about the half-hour mark. But I will come back every like 10 minutes and give it a shizzle and a shake and agitate it. I'm not going to call it names, although I probably might if I burn myself. What I will do is just like rotate or shake or turn. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'll come back when it's all cooked. Alrighty, well, it's been about the half-hour mark, between 25 and 30 minutes actually. And have a look, everything looks absolutely delicious. So I just want to do one more thing really. I'll remove the sausages. And that'll leave me with all these delicious roasted vegetables. But we still need to put the cheese in the Philly cheesesteak, don't we? Never mind, I'm getting there. So, next thing, I've got a frying pan here, which I'm warming up. Yeah, that's warm enough. And into it, I'm going to add all the vegetables that I just roasted. Except what I should have done is just squeeze out all the garlic away from the outside shell first, which I can still do. I mean, I'm doing it now, aren't I? And I'm doing a real good job of it. And it's burning my fingers as well. Makes you feel more like a man. Ooh yeah. So what I want to do is crush these bits of garlic, make them a bit mushy. And now it's time to grab your cheese. I'm using these cheese slices, as you do, because these melt really well. What I'll probably do now is turn the heat off for this frying pan, because I don't really want it to over melt. Well, I do really, but I don't want it to start cooking. I don't want this cheese to start cooking now, so put these on. I'll just start off with 3, I think. And we'll just fold this through. And I'll start letting that melt really well. But there is still one more thing I need to do, and that's cut my bread rolls. Surely you don't need a lesson on how to cut a bread roll. Surely, come on. I'm doing it down the side today, by the way, because that'll give me more surface area to work with. And what would a delicious fresh bread roll be without some butter? Oh, I love this stuff. You know what? I think I'm going to start identifying as butter. Now, it'd be sacrilegious of me if I didn't add some butter to here, wouldn't it? Well, take a look at this. This cheese is perfectly melted. Not too runny, not too solid. Just right. Let's separate a small portion of this, put it on here. Now let's grab our sausage. I love saying that. We'll stick that in, and there you go. How easy was that? Well, there you go. There's those Philly cheesesteak style hot dogs I just whipped up. How good does that look? Definitely something you'd take home to meet your mother, that's for sure. Let's give one of these bad boys a crack, because I'm starving. Let's go. The flavour of that roasted garlic in there. Those green bell pepper capsicums that are just so flavoursome. The onions have that gentle, delicate crunch about them. The beef hot dog, well, it's pretty average because I bought it from Woolies. But hey, at least it's better than a Coles one. And you know, with all those ingredients as well, it's going to be super healthy as well. Don't believe me? Just take a look at this. Well, I hope you enjoy the Philly cheesesteak hot dogs. If you do make them, I'd like to know what you thought about yours. Did they turn out well? Or did you fail miserably? The only reason why you would have failed to make this is because you watched some other channel, which is why you should click subscribe and the bell. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for my next recipe. Right, well, I've got about 6,000 calories to get through. I'll catch you later. See you then. Oh yeah, this is Greg's Kitchen, where today I cooked some Philly cheesesteak hot dogs in the oven. The beauty about these is they pretty much cook themselves. It was